Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Besam 1007241SI or SL. I think it's SI. It's silver though. This is that arm. Now this is a push arm assembly. If you are from the mechanical world of door closers like I am, originally, you might say to yourself, well, push arm, okay, well that means that this must be a top jam mount because this looks like a regular arm from our mechanical arm world. And indeed that's the case. The operator is going to be up on the header and it will of course fit down into this, ultimately this spline prep in the main arm, and that's obviously going to be what's going to allow that door to be operated. So a replacement arm is not an unusual item. Let's first take some basic dimensional properties just to kind of archive it. The length of the main arm, meaning from the spindle to the elbow, about 11 1/4. The length of the forearm, which goes to the door, in the position that it ships in, it looks like it's about 13.5 inch. However, you have adjustment here, and those adjustments are to allow you to compensate for the reveal dimension, and I'll show that to you in a moment. A very large shoe, arm shoe that's here, about 2 5/8, about 1.25 inches. Let's finish up the visual review of the material. You're going to get the spline adapter, or the arm extension, the extension, so to speak. This is going to connect to the spindle coming out of the closer. This is going to fit into the spline prep in the main arm. It's going to fit in there like that. Okay. You're going to have the cap through which you will run the extension bolt, or the mounting bolt. That's going to allow you to get that installed into the closer. So it's going to look like that when it's all said and done. Okay. There are two different bolts in here. There are clearly two different diameters. There are clearly two different applications where you're going to use this. I'm going to give you the dimensional properties of both of those bolts now. I'm sure that they're metric, but I'm just going to put my caliper on the OD of the threads. The smaller of the two is 0.314. They are not the same length exactly. The larger of the two, 0.391. The length of the thicker of the two, about 2 5/16. The shorter one's probably going to be about 2 1/4. Yeah, closer to 2 1/4. They may. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say that they're supposed to be nominally the same size. There may be a half of a revolution different in length. Now, what is this arm used for, and why would you need it? Let's talk about that. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. As I had said earlier, this is going to be a replacement arm. It's not unusual to buy a replacement arm only because, believe it or not, these get damaged. Generally, it's vandalism. It's not just standard operating procedure from the door closer itself that the arm will become damaged. This is a substantially heavier type of arm compared to a mechanical closer. This weighs 3.3 pounds, by the way, at least it does with its fasteners. But they do get damaged. They will get bent. The door might get hyperextended to the point where it's literally bent the arm. Thankfully, not the shaft of the closer. Maybe someone is doing chin-ups on the arm as well. So they do get vandalized and damaged. That would be a reason to do a replacement. I think this client actually, on this S200, is switching from a push side, from a pull side mount to a push side mount. That's a very different track. It is a pull side mount is a channel that's mounted to the face of the door, and then just a single arm. There'll be a slide block and then ends in that channel, and that's how you would use it on a pull side mount. I think this client's switching that operator around is what they're doing. So either replacing it for application purposes, less common than just replacing it because it's become bent, damaged, worn, whatever the case might be. That's why someone would end up doing this. This is for an SW200 series closer. Let's now switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at some of the supporting information that we have. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, supporting information, here we go. This image will be updated likely by the time you see this. This is the silver color. We have some customer supplied photos down here showing different components of what this looks like out in the field. That's a great picture of what this arm looks like. Push side mount. It's inherently what we would call a top jam installation. We have some photographs of the item itself. Let's take a look at those now. Okay. These are made in different extension lengths as well. The way you would buy extensions, should you have a greater distance from where you're going to mount the arm to where the spindle falls, or vis-a-vis where the controller is mounted to the header. That goes to the spindle. Then we have the portion that goes down to the arm, the cap itself, and then the 2 bolts that are included. Okay, now, I said the word reveal earlier. Let's talk about reveal. Now, I don't know the maximum reveal that this is going to handle. But from everything I can see, you should be able to pick up an additional 2 3/4 inch would be my guess. So here's what reveal is. Well, actually, reveal is shown here pretty well. It's the dimension from the face of the header to the face of the door. It would look like this. You have your header. You have your operator. You have your door. I'm sorry, I've drawn that on the wrong side. Wrong side, here we go. Here's your door. Door swings this way. The reveal is the dimension from the face of the header to the face of the door. That's reveal. This length, and I don't know what is the standard reveal for this arm, but the length, again, of the forearm is about 13.5 inch. And like I said earlier, you should be able to pick up an additional 2 3/4 inch. Well, actually, let's take a closer look at that. And yes, and I'll show you on camera in a moment, but I'm going to stick with the additional 2 3/4 total ability to extend that arm out a little bit further is the bottom line. So a standard actually the way that it's put together now, from its minimum, you can get a lot smaller. Center to center of the elbows, and I'm going to show you this on camera, is about 10 5/8. You'd be able to safely get that out to about 16 inch. So you're going to get another 5.5 inches out of it. Let me show you what I mean. We're wrapped up with the screen view of this anyway, except to say there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page here. From here you can pull up not only all of the Besam products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to several encyclopedic documents, catalogs, wiring diagrams, templates, troubleshooting manuals, parts indexes, things of that nature. All right, let's show you what that reveal is a little bit more, some additional information. The point I'm trying to make is, let's say that this is a typical 5 3/4 hollow metal frame, the jam depth. I shouldn't draw that inside. Well, what if this was 8 3/4? Yeah, you need more. You need more arm is the bottom line. You need more. You need more of this. You need a longer distance. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So I had said that it's about 10 5/8 from the center of here down to the center of the arm shoe, about 10 5/8. Where this arm was resting when we received it, it's going to be in about this position. That's about 10 5/8. When I extend this all the way out to where I can safely still have everything installed and have two screw holes, that brings it out to about 16 inch. So you're going to pick up an additional 5.5 inch from its minimum sort of condition. If you've, part of the reason it's likely that there's not a lot of information on this is because an excessive reveal is unusual. The distance from the face of the header to the face of the door. You're dealing with standard thicknesses of jams, depths of frames, 5 inch, maybe a little bit thicker, because you're likely dealing with aluminum storefront on this. You're not going to see an 8 inch deep frame on that stuff. Or you won't see a depth of an aluminum frame, not that I've ever seen, that's going to cause a fit or trouble for what the arm can handle. Now, having said that, I just did a job for a customer of mine, sold him 2 complete operators, the whole 9 yards. And he gets the stuff and says, okay, now what do I do? I'm like, I'm sorry, what's the question? How do I install this stuff? I'm like, oh, okay. You don't know how to install electrified hardware. Long story short, I was able to get him in contact with another client of mine who's an integrator. He's an installer. And let me show you what I mean by reveal. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Now here's that actual job that I was referring to earlier. This is the actual installation. You can't really tell, but there is a difference between the plane of the wall, the plane of the header, and the face of the door. That's the reveal. That ended up being like 12 inch or some large dimension. My client made a custom piece of steel. My client had made, I should say, had made a plate of steel that he then bolted to the masonry, attached his operator to it, dropped that down so we can get the arm to the face of the door, and that's reveal. The client needed to do some calculations on reveal here, based on what to make dimension B and where to position everything, in fact. And that's exactly what we needed to do because of that deeper reveal. I am not familiar with any such chart for Besam. If you have a reveal that's greater than 5 inch, I would probably check the factory. Check with us. Sorry. So that we can get proper guidance from the factory. We don't want to sell you an expensive arm to find out that you don't have enough length on the forearm. That's the bottom line. Okay, let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. So I apologize for the deep dive into reveal, but it's an important concept to discuss. I don't think you're going to bump into it being a problem with this Besam arm. Okay. The name Besam is synonymous with automatic door parts. And a lot of people will refer to it as Assa Abloy. That's the company that owns Besam and scores of other companies. If you have any questions on the Besam, this is their part number, 1007241SI or SL, push side arm, or any other Besam product. Please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.